Hello and welcome to yet another video production, Walks on Sunday with Marc and Ying. And in this video we are walking around the small coastal town of Dunbar, looking at Dunbar Castle, Dunbar Fort, Dunbar Harbour and the John Muir Museum. Dunbar is actually the birthplace of John Muir, and as an American, if that name sounds familiar, well, it should be. He is the Scotsman that emigrated as a child to America and is recognised pretty much as the founder of your national park system. Is a town called Dunbar, and located in this town is a little Scottish secret that most people outside of Dunbar don't know about. It's the best place in Scotland for buying and consuming knickerbocker glories. And I know you're about to ask, what's a knickerbocker glory? So here we are in Dunbar, picturesque little town. It does have a castle Devi, and we might, subject to light, go down and have a look at it before we leave. Very small though. I did actually live here for a few years. Not a pleasant experience property wise. Yeah, anywhere down to the front.
I never really go down here before. I know.
Yeah, you've been here before.
And I had one patient around here.
Yeah?
Remember, we covered Dunbar as well.
Okay.
That's why, you know, for NHS we travel really far. Be careful, it's stairs.
I'm just getting a little bit lost, just looked at a map to get directions. Castle basically overlooks a harbour. This is Old Dunbar village, fishing village, castle. There's also a very famous battle that took place in Dunbar. I'll need to look it up when I get home. My wife's just telling me there's a car coming up behind me, most inconvenient. We're literally on the coast here. So here we are, overlooking Dunbar Harbour, which this battery was installed to protect, although it's more the older version of the harbour here, that was installed to protect in the 18th century, to protect us from the American raiders' ships during that glorious War of Independence.
When oyster climb up the Berwick Law, we'll go to sea no more.
Oysters come up here and they go down and hit them on the heads and cook them and eat them.
So we're not going to sea.
Though the oysters are coming up and they're going down and getting them. So it's just an expression. When haddocks leave the Firth of Forth and mussels leave the shore, when oysters climb up Berwick's Law, we'll go to sea no more. In other words, you've got enough food, so why go back and waste the land anymore?
Preserve gardens.
Yes. There's my wife walking all over the nicely grown garden.
Because they have a herbs.
Yeah. This is actually quite funny down here. Cannonballs, crutches or corpses, all the seas. The vaults of stored ammunition for the battery before becoming the hospital's basement. And now they're storing your coats, presumably.
Which village? St. Abb's Head? St. Abb's?
St Abbs, St Helens, St Bay, they all built kirks to be nearest to the sea. St Abbs upon the Nab, St Helens on the Lea, St Bay's on Dunbar Sands, lies closest to the sea.
Yes, that's exactly the place I wanted to show you.
Okay.
Let's use this.
And now Dunbar is still a working fishing harbour. There's several fishing boats now in view.
Look at her here. You're walking through the history, see?
Yep.
An isolation hospital for infection disease to build within the wall. 1802, gunfire. 1851, the military.
And over here
It's a time traveling.
we have the original harbour wall that this little fort that we saw was built to defend. Still connected to the more modern one.
See, you start from the 1781. The battery is built to protect Dunbar against American sea raiders. What's it called? American?
So that was the War of Independence.
Oh.
They were building ships and coming over to raid us. And here we are coming to the older bit of the harbour. The real Dunbar Castle.
Oh.
That dates back to the 1600s.
1600.
600s.
600.
So that was the modern castle that dates back to the American War of Independence. This is the ancient castle that dates back 1,500 years. No, 1,400 years. Learn to count, Mark.
Smell the fish.
Yep, it's a fishing harbour, darling. That was a trick on Devi. She didn't realise how far back we were really going. Just over here.
Oh.
I think it's too dangerous and they want to protect it. Unfortunately, safety concerns and protection, this is about as far as we can get. Imagine the view from up there if you could get up though. And much as I would love to bring you a video footage from up there, I'm sorry, forget it. So now I'm walking along the edge of the more modern bit of the harbour, which is still a working harbour. Here you have the lifeboat, or the Dunbar lifeboat. Probably covers most of the Firth of Forth. Perfect location to base it. Fishing boats, as I said earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fishing boats in harbour just now. And above me, the original castle on this very defendable rock. And here you've got fishing baskets, I think they're called. There are still people working here, living here. My wife even has patients here. Before you phone us, that's NHS patients, not private patients. Yes, we are opening up very soon the Edinburgh Podiatrist Clinic, or at least planning on, but sorry folks, this is just too far east north for us. We are going to be covering the south of Edinburgh, so draw a line through Edinburgh, go south towards Penicuik. That's the area that we're targeting. If you want to travel to the clinic, of course that's a ball game of another description, but wouldn't recommend it. There's a lot of good podiatrists a lot closer to you. Yeah. So we're now going up the hill towards the most modern bit here, probably Dunbar swimming baths.
There's a wing cannon.
Well spotted. Even in these modern times, we still have to be ready to defend ourselves against these raiding Americans. And that's my wife way up at the top of the hill, abandoned me. Here we go, time to get some exercise. I'm not as young as I used to be. This might not look like a big hill, but to my old creaking legs, quite a view from up here though.
Castle Arch. Where's the Castle Arch?
Castle played a major strategic role in Scotland's history. Yeah, that's down there. Either there or there. I think it's down there actually.
Yeah, so it's broken.
No, I think you can see it down there.
No.
No, that's too modern a picture. It is still there. So it's down the water. Remember, the water goes in there as well. It looks too muddy. I'm not going down there to find out.
Are you going to swimming here? If you don't.
Boundary of this vast golden flower bed, across the mighty Sierra, miles in height, and so gloriously covered and so much light, it seemed not clothed with light, but wholly composed of it, like the ball of some celestial city. It seemed to me that the Sierra should go.
Which is a start, which is a true start.
Downstairs where he was born.
No Sierra landscape that I have seen. You cannot expect to see the end of it.
Muir's passion for the great forests was fired by the giant sequoia or redwood trees he encountered in Yosemite. Before long, he began to argue that enjoying the wilderness was not enough. People had to act to preserve it too.
Is everything all right with this lift?
Yes.
Yes, it's okay. I can hear a funny noise.
It looks very old. People look very old then. The Sierra Club. President Roosevelt had been replaced by President.
So, I said at the beginning that Dunbar was probably the best place in Scotland to get a Knickerbocker glory, and I kind of hinted that you had to watch at the end of the video. Well, here's some photos of my wife Ying, the other co-star, and my mother and aunt sharing between them a Knickerbocker glory. And here is the ChatGPT definition of what a Knickerbocker glory is. A Knickerbocker glory is a traditional British ice cream sundae, famously indulgent and layered with all sorts of treats. Here's what typically goes into one. Layers of ice cream, usually multiple flavours like vanilla, strawberry and chocolate, fruit such as fresh berries, bananas or tinned fruit cocktail, jelly or jelly-o, often brightly coloured and wobbly in the middle of layers, whipped cream, piped on top like a fluffy crown, syrups or sauces, strawberry chocolate or raspberry ripple, toppings, sprinkles, nuts, wafers or a cherry on top. It's usually served in a tall glass so you can see all the glorious layers, and traditionally eaten with a long spoon. Think of it as the British cousin of the American sundae, with slightly retro seaside